Macmillan Audio presents The Cellars of the Majestic, Inspector Maigret, Volume 21, by Georges Simenon, read for you by James Faulkner. Chapter 1. Prosper Dange's Tire. A car door slamming. That was always the first noise of the day. The engine still running outside. Charlotte was presumably shaking the driver's hand. Then the taxi drove away. Footsteps. The key in the lock and the click of a light switch. A match was struck in the kitchen, and the gas stove made a pfft sound as it came on. Slowly, like someone who was spent all night standing up, Charlotte climbed the overly new staircase. She came noiselessly into the bedroom. Another light switch. A bulb came on, with a pink handkerchief over it as a lampshade, and wooden tassels at the four corners of the handkerchief. Prosper Dange had not opened his eyes. Charlotte looked at herself in the wardrobe mirror as she undressed. When she got down to her girdle and brassiere, she sighed. She was as fat and pink as a Rubens, but she was obsessive about squeezing herself in. Once naked, she rubbed the flesh where there were marks. She had an unpleasant way of getting into bed, kneeling on it first, which made the base tilt to one side. "Your turn, Prosper." He got up. She quickly huddled into the warm hollow he had left behind, pulled the blankets up to her eyes, and stopped moving. "Is it raining?" he asked, as he flushed the toilet. A vague grunt. It didn't matter. The water for shaving was ice-cold. Trains could be heard passing. Prosper Dange got dressed. From time to time, Charlotte sighed because she couldn't get to sleep while the light was on. He had one hand already on the doorknob and was stretching his right arm towards the light switch when he heard a thick voice, "Don't forget to go and pay the installment for the wireless." On the kitchen stove the coffee was hot, too hot. He drank it standing up. Then, like all those who make the same gestures at the same time every day, he wrapped a knitted scarf around his neck and put on his coat and cap. Finally, he took his bicycle, which was in the passage, and pushed it outside. Invariably, at that hour, he was greeted by a breath of cold, damp air, and there was wetness on the cobbles, even though it hadn't rained. The people asleep behind the closed shutters would probably know only a warm, sunny day. The street, lined with detached houses and little gardens, sloped steeply downwards. Sometimes, between two trees, the lights of Paris could be glimpsed, as if at the bottom of a chasm. It was no longer night, but it wasn't yet day. The air was mauve. The lights were coming on in a few windows, and Prosper Dange braked before he got to the level crossing, which was closed. He had to get across through the gates. After the Pont de Saint-Cloud, he turned left. A tugboat, followed by its string of barges, was whistling furiously, asking for the lock gate to be opened. The Bois de Boulogne, the lakes reflecting a paler sky, with swans waking up. Just as he reached Porte Dauphine, the ground suddenly felt harder beneath Dange's wheels. He went a few more meters, then got off and had a look. His rear tire was flat. He looked at his watch. It was 10 to 6. He began walking quickly, pushing his bicycle, and there was a slight mist in front of his lips, while the heat of the effort burned his chest inside. Avenue Foch, closed shutters in all the mansions. A high-ranking officer, followed only by his orderly, was trotting along the bridle path. Light behind the Arc de Triomphe. He was hurrying now. He felt really hot. Just at the corner of the Champs-Élysées, a policeman in a cape standing near the newsstand cried out, "Flat tire!" He nodded. 300 meters to go.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?